Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
This is the face
Hey,
of someone who's had a nap today. You guys look good too.
I
Karen,
wish
I
I
don't
had
think
a
I've,
nap.
I've ever seen you this awake.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's before you had the morning show gig. Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, we've been together 12 seasons. It's been a good run. Thanks, Kel. No, within the last couple of years, I guess we're coming up on 2 years. Isn't that crazy?
Three. It'll be three, no?
No.
No, one. Oh, yeah, we
Since
just
you've
did
been
two.
on the morning show?
Yeah, we just
By
did one.
January, or February, it'll be 2 years.
Yeah.
So whatever. See, it messes with your mind having to get up so early every day,
Yeah.
and making sure that you get a nap to balance out the fact that you don't go to bed on time any night is essential. So when that happens, like today, when I got more sleep than I had bargained for, it's like that's a win.
Here's my
So
question. Are you going to fall asleep though? You'll probably stay up too late.
no. I'm getting it. Like
Okay,
it's
great.
I
Great.
know I've said this a number of times in the past few months where I'm like, it's coming together. I'm trying to, pay attention to make things blah blah blah. And what you realize is that something's got to give,
Yeah.
and you make it work. So hopefully the things that got to give don't have adverse effects on you later. But like I said, 2 hour nap, all good.
Yeah. Good job, Sharon.
Thank you very much. So for the show today, again, action-packed show. And what we've got as far as intel for your 90s and your now connections is plentiful. Actually, there's some TV, there's some music, and a family reunion, and a little puppy that's nipping at my heels because he's the boss of me. Anyways, we're going to tell you who is feeling thankful for the freedom that comes with breaking addictions and dependency on substance, and that's a quote. Also connect the 90s to now, which we aim to do every show, but we'll also do that with every other decade since the 60s with one group and one family of influencers. Kelly's trivia will line us up and knock us down, undoubtedly. Your 90s rewind is going to take you further back than just the 90s to make some solid connections there. And I think that one of the stories that we ended last season on was waiting for updates about pay equity on the classic television show Wheel of Fortune. So we've got some news on that. So I figure let's start there.
Go Vanna White.
Go Vanna White. Vanna Bandana is getting her due, which is amazing. From the article that we all read, I don't think that it mentioned what she's going to be making. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't think it's 15 million. Nope.
Because
No, I think
it was 3 million, right?
Right. She was
3 million
making
before?
3 to Pat Sajak's 15.
Yeah.
And
didn't get a raise for 18 years.
And again, the argument and the great debate that came out of this whole situation was it really is qualified as being none of our business, but it's out there, so we discuss it. That they were equals all those years, with them coming out arm in arm and being introduced as the stars of our show, and the discrepancy with the pay being what it was, might prompt him to sue the company that runs Wheel of Fortune for gender discrimination, which I think, hey, why not? See what you can get.
Well, it's just not fair what she's been through. And the part too where they were announced, I'm sure it was not the first seasons. It was like host of the show, Pat Sajak, whatever. But then he became definitely equals as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm sure many people would agree. And so
For sure.
it says in the intro, like the stars of our show. So the stars of our show should be making the same coin. Full stop.
Agreed. I think also that every element of promotion for that show was both of them. It was never Pat and, oh yeah, Vanna, I'll tell you when I get back kind of thing. It was always them together as a unit. So they were, like you said, and like we said before, the stars of our show. So interesting that the discrepancy was so vast, and interesting that it only really came to light when he decided he was leaving. I mean, she probably knew the whole time, but
oh, I'm sure she knew the whole time, and it was just in a probably untenable situation.
And one of those things where certainly $3 million a year doing that job or many jobs is a great payout, right? So
yeah,
I'm sure she's not complaining about maybe the amount, and this is totally me surmising that, maybe she's complaining about the amount period, but the discrepancy, I think, is the greater issue, and why one made more than the other.
Well, it's just not fair. Full stop. Again, like, it's just stupid. And I still can't understand how in 2023, this is still an issue where it's like, how much can we lowball the lady? You know? So
Wow.
it's just, I don't know, it really drives me bananas. And then there's a whole other part too, when you add in people of color, you know, or
yeah,
like, it's just like all that plays a part, and it drives me bananas. And there's many other things that I'm sure I'm forgetting that also play a part for whoever else is out there trying to do what they need to do, you know, and get paid properly for it. And the thing too is with you know, entertainment, it's all about the perception, right, of like what you're worth. And because, yeah, like if you break down her job, she's not digging ditches, you know what I mean? She's not doing brain surgery, but there is Pat Sajak.
Precisely.
And on top of it, she, in my opinion, softens him to make them quite the couple.
Yes, agreed. Just like any classic, you know, duo would do. They complement each other really well because, like I said before, he is more and more curt. It's almost like he's losing patience. And that's fine. That happens at work when you've done a job for a long time. Yep. And even when you've done a job for a short time, everybody has a day, right? But like, she softened the blow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
It's funny too, as we were preparing for this, I, you know, read the article, and obviously I knew Seacrest is taking over. And that was in my consciousness when we discussed this months ago when he took the job. But as I reread it, I was like, he just gets every job.
He really does.
He really, really does. Like,
and he's capable.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question as to his ability. I mean, we've all seen him on all the shows that have brought him up. And the fact that he did those television gigs concurrent with a local radio show and a syndicated show on the radio, he's getting it done, and he's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we know what he's getting, right? I think he's getting 16 million, right? So just slightly more than Pat Sajak.
It's something up there in the number department, but it's just funny. Like, he has the big, like, obviously he's super talented and he's very pleasing on many levels to an audience.
He knows how to work the crowd. That's for sure. Like, in a really good way.
So that's his X factor, right?
Yeah.
So no question there. But it's just so funny how he literally gets whatever job he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Because to all of a sudden decide, oh, I'm going to leave stuff in LA and go to New York for 6 years and be Kelly and Ryan. And then, oh, like, I'm done with New York now. I'm going to go back to LA. And now I'm going to host the, you know, Fortune.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, good for him.
No, it's stunning how he has managed to. And obviously, like, we don't know the blood, sweat, and tears. And I did see his schedule at one point back in the day, like a loose interpretation of basically every moment of the day is accounted for.
Well, that's the thing. You have all the jobs, you have to do all the work, or a lot of the work anyways. I'm sure that there's a team that support him along the way, but still you have to execute, right?
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy. I think Adam should be, on the path of Ryan Seacrest. He's capable. He does all the work.
I would be so good. I would be better than Ryan.
See?
On every aspect of the job, including the looks.
There we go.
Wow. Love the right. What's in that cup,
Sharon?
That's a cup of confidence back there. I see.
Yeah.
It was some coffee. It's my Virgin Radio mug of coffee.
Oh.
Can I show like what's written on the cup to the camera?
Well, that's a vintage one, Adam.
So look at what. Oh, for those who are not watching the video, it says "Talk Dirty to Me," but it's a Jason Derulo.
Right.
Reference with which he had a song a few years ago called "Talk Dirty to Me."
Can you actually was that like 2016, 2014? That song? Because it was a while ago.
Talk Dirty to Me. Jason.
That would have been one of the ones where he said Jason Derulo.
It would have been.
I know he does it in every song.
Every single song.
So the album was released in 2013.
So I was close.
So yeah, this mug is 10 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. Hopefully the coffee's fresher than that.
Yeah.
Well, it's dating from noon, so not that much.
You ready to get knocked down by some trivia, Adam?
Not at all. Let's do it.
Same.
90s now. Trivia.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
We will start with the my easier question this time around.
Okay.
And then we'll follow it up
We've
with
got a dog friend on the camera.
We do have a dog.
Oh, there's little
He's
Shadow.
a baby. Hello. He
Did you
plays hard
see
to
his
get
eye,
really well.
Sharon? Look at the screen.
He does do that. He does it with cameras. Anytime I try to take his picture, he'll either look away or I swear to God, he blinks.
Oh, yeah.
Or sticks his tongue out. So it just happens perfectly that I've got a series of shots like this. So I'm sure he's doing it to me on purpose in a cute way. Okay, trivia, go.
Here we go.
He's
So
ready.
sport category. What was Tiger Woods' mad winning margin in the 97 Masters tournament? And again,
Adam.
I don't choose these words. Adam.
I'll go for 11 shots.
Good guess, Adam. No, but solid guess.
So can you read the question again, mostly because I just want to hear you read it?
What was Tiger Woods' mad winning margin in the 97 Masters tournament?
So that would be like an adjective, right? Like mad. It's sick.
Like last week's slamming.
Slamming, mad, sick.
Yeah.
You said 11 shots?
Adam did say 11, yes.
I'm going to go with, I don't know, 13?
I knew you were going to say that. And
the answer is 12.
Son of a...
Want to know a funny story about that Masters? So that
Yes.
was Tiger's first Masters, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened the very day my younger brother was born.
Is his name Tiger?
His name is David.
Okay.
Is his middle name Green Jacket?
It is not. You know,
Okay.
my middle name is Fred because of Fred Couples, right? I've said
We
that.
do know that.
Right. Yeah.
So my mom's a big golf fan, and so my brother's been alive for 26 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Every year we watch the Masters together, and she reminds him how because of him she couldn't watch the 96 Tiger.
That's funny.
That's amazing. I'm surprised she didn't name him Tiger.
I mean,
Missed
If
opportunity.
you're Fred, it could be Fred and Tiger.
it would have been great. I
like
wish
a-
I was Tiger, actually.
It's like a country duo.
From the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
A set of hee-haw. Fred and Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah, with cowboy hats of love. All right, art and literature. Which artist became well known in the early 90s for creating large digital montages of architecture and landscape?
I don't know.
Not a
Can
clue.
you hear the silence on our faces right now?
There was silence on your faces.
I did not study for this exam.
Is it a name you've heard before, Kelly?
Never in my entire life.
Then we should have no problem getting it. Can you give us initials?
A.G.
Alphonse Guggenheim.
Sharon, you're closer than you think. Adam?
Alfonso
Ribeiro.
There we go. That's gonna be my guess.
Andreas Gursky.
Oh, not AG, the OG AG.
Yeah, super close. Have you heard of this person ever in life? The two of
No.
you?
So Andreas
Gursky, Gursky.
Huh.
What is some of Andreas's work?
Nothing that I'm aware of, although I'm not really great at painting knowledge, if you will.
He does.
I will, but
if you
will
look him
not.
up, there are a bunch of landscapes. Well, not landscapes, but yeah, whatever how you described it, I can see the pictures.
Check this out, guys.
Never seen those in my life.
Hi, Shadow.
He's got his head down like
Like, when will they stop being stupid?
Why does she talk so much? He can only hear me, so he probably is worried that I'm losing my mind.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
He sold one of
solid
his
concern.
paintings for $2.3 million.
He sold a painting for $2.3 million.
I would like to do that.
Why don't you have Shadow, your pooch, paint something with a brush in his teeth, and I'm sure you could sell that for a mint.
All right. I'll do it.
Go, Sharon. Give it a go.
We'll do.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
it's
listening to
it's not
something
even a
recently.
painting. It's a photograph.
Oh, it's a photograph, so it's not painting. Well, anyway, Sharon could still make a mint if Shadow. You could call it like what
Shadows
kind
of
of dog is
Night.
he again? What kind of dog is he again, Sharon?
He's a terrier and a bit of mystery.
Ah. Did I tell you that Elaine thinks that our latest husky, who we have since February, Tracy with an eye, he she is she believes her to be part Arctic fox. Yeah.
Wow.
Which is just her trying to sound cool is really what
It
it is.
worked.
I don't think Tracy's part Arctic fox. Although we tried to think that she was actually part Labrador because she actually does listen on occasion, unlike the other two who never listen to anything because they're huskies and like full huskies. But then we were speaking to somebody who is knowledgeable of huskies and dogs that come from Iqaluit, which is where Tracy with an eye comes from. And apparently there's no Labradors up there. So she can't be part lab. So I really don't know what she is because she literally has recall, which is shocking. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Elaine wants her to be part Arctic fox so that she can blend in well with her two Quebec fox parents. And funny quick story, at least it's funny to me, and it's from like 30 years ago. I went on a trip to LA with a couple of friends, separate parts of the trip. Anyways, with one of my friends, we were at Disneyland, and we went to the ET ride or whatever it is. And ultimately you go through, and then after the end, we found out that ET says your name. So we're going in, we're waiting in line, we get there, and they ask your name. And my friend Patty says, Patty with an I. And I'm like, that's specific. Like, I don't even think I've ever heard you say that. Anyways, go in, do the thing. And at the end, all it is, like, and she was really concerned about the specifics of the spelling of her name. ET at the end says, thank you, Patty, but didn't say Patty with an I.
I thought you were going to say that he did say it with Patty with an I, and I was like, that's amazing.
The whole idea was that she was so like, concerned about this person taking her name down properly. E.T. doesn't care.
Do you see any celebs while you were there? Like, because we know you saw Thea Vidal in Chicago. But...
In that LA trip, we went to dinner at Spago's.
Did you?
Yeah. And
why has this never come up in our
I don't even know
15 years of friendship?
And I think I overstated it. It was 1998, so not 30 years ago. And it was a great trip, and Spago dinner. And over the corner of my eye, I'm looking at someone who's very familiar, and it was who is it that not Dana Delaney, the other Delaney that I talk about, Kim Delaney.
Oh,
she was there, and I was like, she's familiar. I just kept like looking over. I was trying to not be like the gawking idiot, and I think I did an okay job. And then she got up to go to the washroom, and she was gawking at me. I'm like, does she think she knows me? Do I think I know me? Anyways, side note on Spago, in 1998, the Caesar salad was 4 pieces of romaine lettuce. I swear to you, that seemed to be brushed with the salad dressing, and a couple of crouton anchovy, really very minimalist, and it was $13.
Wow. I thought you were going to say 30.
In 1998, it was $13.
Now it's probably 30.
That was probably like 97.
Exactly. That trip also, I think it was at the airport, I met Bill Fagerbakke.
Who is that?
Haha, he was on Coach.
Was he? Which one?
Dauber, was it?
Oh my God, that's him? I love him. He was cool.
He was super nice, and I went up to talk to him. I said, I just wanted to introduce myself and think you're great on the show. And he goes, hey, weren't we going to play together? I'm like, no.
He's the guy that voices Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yay.
I did not know this.
Yeah, so there we are.
This is amazing news. Well, good job, Sharon. I can't.
Thank you very much.
Actually, I just did the math. We have been friends since 2005. How has this never come up in conversation?
It's true, eh? I got to keep some secrets, Kel. And then wow you. Of course I saw Kim Delaney at dinner one time.
Did you see, what's his name? Isn't it Wolfgang Puck? Isn't he the owner of Spago's, or who's
he is the owner? I don't believe he was there.
Okay.
I mean,
So
maybe
he
he
didn't
was.
brush your $13 salad.
He was not. I'm sure he was not responsible for brushing the dressing on my salad.
Okay.
Though I would have appreciated if he did. So that's it. We failed at trivia again. So on we go with our intel, and the quote that we started the show with of the person that's feeling thankful for breaking free of addictions is Ryan Phillippe.
Yep.
Free from the bounds of addiction, he said he's feeling thankful for the freedom that comes with breaking addictions and dependency on substance. He's gone the longest without ever having longest in his life without having nicotine or marijuana. Nicotine is one of the worst ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know that the addictive nature of all the really hard drugs and the illegal drugs is very real. Nicotine is that one that people don't, I think, give enough credit to as far as its addiction power. And it gets you and it rarely lets you go. So good for him for breaking free of that.
Mm-hmm. I had a guy that worked with us at the farm for many years, and he just decided one day that was it, and he quit smoking.
Mm-hmm. That's what you got to do.
Yep. And it was amazing.
Stop buying them. If you don't have them at home, it's just so much easier to like not. If you,
yeah, yeah.
Here's another secret. Did you know that I smoked?
I think you did tell me that.
Okay, so and I did for a while, and I quit, and it was challenging. And then there was like a real good run of time where you're in a social situation, and just having a drink or something, and you're out at a party, house party, club, whatever. You're like, ooh, yeah, I could really go for one. And it's such a draw.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really helped that you can't smoke indoors anymore. That's a real indication that you shouldn't do that thing. If they've banned it from happening inside, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah. How long did you smoke?
I'll go safely on 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. So it's been way longer that I've not smoked, like way. I was early 20s when I quit.
Okay.
So
and I think it's probably more
when you were
now.
15 or 16, like as a teenager, you started
as a committed smoker. Yeah, I was easily that, and I tried for the first time when I was in grade 6.
Wow,
isn't that ridiculous? Like it's ridiculous. It's not
so
certainly not anything I'm proud of. My mother smoked. All my friends' mothers smoked, so we were able to, take a cigarette.
Were you allowed to buy them? Like, were you allowed to buy cigarettes?
Oh yeah, our parents used to send us to the store. Hey, go buy me a pack of cigarettes and do whatever, and get yourself a chocolate bar. There was never an issue about kids buying because you were always buying for your parents.
Did your dad smoke too?
No, like maybe socially, there was an occasional cigar, occasional pipe, but nothing regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you smoke at all, Adam?
I vaped for a whole year. I stopped last June, so I've been vape free for 3 months now.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
But yeah, I started vaping I vaped for a whole year. I like socially, I've got one friend that has a vape, so whenever we're together, I'll like have a few.
That's the most dangerous one, I find, because there was so little information about vaping when it started to become popular, and no one was questioning it because they're like, oh, this is a great alternative to smoking. I'm not smoking. I remember seeing someone when you were still allowed to vape inside, socially, and their partner said, well, it's not as dangerous as smoking. And I looked over, and she was sucking on her vape as if her life depended on it. And I thought, wow, yeah, it really looks like a real solid alternative to smoking cigarettes. Like, at least you took a break with a cigarette, Like you smoked it and then it was done. This was like settle down.
And there's no scent, so it doesn't like bother anybody if you smoke inside, if you smoke at home.
And aren't they flavored, so it makes kids want to go for this?
Of course.
Yeah, I had the mint flavored one, and I never smoked. I never really, like, I still don't smoke. I hate the taste of cigarette, and I hate the taste of tobacco. So I started vaping without, like, there was no reason for me to do it. But then I got addicted for a whole year.
It grabbed you. Don't go back.
You stopped, little Adam.
No, this is not the plan.
Well, from one handsome cigarette-free dude to a clear group of non-smokers in this room, and I'm pretty safe in assuming, Kelly, that you never smoked, right?
Never tried it in my
Good for you. You're not missing anything.
Never like one smoke, like one.
Yeah,
couldn't be more boring, Adam. Yeah.
No, you know what? There's something to be said for that, honestly.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, but we have other handsome dude news. Because Ryan Phillippe is very handsome, and obviously so is Adam.
He's beautiful.
I love how I heard we have some handsome dude nudes.
That's our other show, 90s Now After Dark. Dude nudes. Hashtag dude nudes. Kelly's got some info for us on one of our favorites here on 90s Now.
Yeah, just wanted to. So last week we mentioned Shane, Kentucky Shane, who's been with us all 12 seasons as far as my memory serves. And so we gave him a shout out. And he wrote us such a beautiful note on our YouTube page. And he just said, Sharon, Kelly, and Adam, you brought tears to my eyes. That was beyond nice of you to say, talking about, my teaching. And I can't even tell you how much I enjoy this. I hope my students have enjoyed my class and learned something over the years. And he also knew the answer to one of the trivia questions, which was the art and literature question last week, when none of us knew what the heck was going on. And he's like, I totally knew that answer.
Oh, nice.
Good for him. The answer was The Giver. And I also wanted to give him a shout out because we had been guessing his age last week when we talked about Shane, saying like, how can he retire? Because he's
so youthful.
And he is so young. And he just turned 50 this week.
Ooh, nice.
So happy birthday to Kentucky Shane.
Happy birthday to our one prince.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, elsewhere in the world of princes, or at least the Order of the British Empire, we'll connect the now with a band that's left its mark on every decade since the 60s. It's gotten to the point now where the Rolling Stones and their new album is coming out in October. It can't be surprising. I was talking about this with my co-host this morning, actually, about my co-host Jay, Mornings Rock on Show 97, that the idea that the Rolling Stones are still making music cannot be news or even surprising at this point, because there's gaps of time that go through, but they've been touring. They've beaten every decade. In the 80s, people would be like, wow, they still at it? Like it's such a different concept of what was old in rock and roll. So now that Mick Jagger in being 80 and last week even saying, well, we have 23 songs and we're not going to work on 23 songs for one album because that's too much. So we've already got a lot for the next album. So this newest one, which is due out in October, is one thing. There's another one planned for whenever.
Amazing.
It's amazing. So the other fun thing that's coming out alongside the Hackney Diamonds album, the first album of new music in 18 years, because they did do a blues covers album, and blues covers were not new music. They've gone to the company that's behind the Kardashians to put together a documentary.
That'll be cool.
How cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to say, because we started off the show with perception, and now I would like to bring it full circle, because the Stones, in my opinion, have now flipped the perception of what a rock band of that stage in life can produce.
Totally.
Especially because, as we've all said, the first single is awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
You know what I mean?
Angry.
And I don't think anybody, not, expected it in a way, like, because it's so hard sometimes for groups to recapture magic, because it's like their fans almost don't want, like, just think like, oh, but this was their best stuff, so they can't do it. So it just never works out in some regards, but they've totally done it, and they're cool again. Not that they weren't, but it's like
they're great grandfathers.
Yeah, it's bananas.
It's nuts. But they don't stop moving, and to have a favorite era of the Rolling Stones, fans get that when they see them live, because they do like a healthy amount from every album. Like, you don't leave the Stones going, man, I wish I heard this. Like, you really feel like you're fully served from what they're doing live, and they're doing it well. Like, it's really cool. So this documentary, what does it say? It's going to chart the band as they start working on the 12 songs which are on Hackney Diamonds. And so we can look forward to that. I think the idea too, that from when they started as a band in the 60s, what we had access to our favorite bands at that time is so wide open. Like, we have such amazing access to what they do that it's like a given that you'd have a documentary like this. So they know what they're doing at every turn, which is great.
Amazing.
Now, we had some TV news, and I think I want to save it for next show because I'd like to talk about, because I know that, Kel, you've got to be somewhere. So we'll save more TV news for next week so we can dig a little deeper, because I'm not completely versed on what the trouble might have been in Family Matters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's put a pin in it. Who doesn't love people who say that?
Forget about it, because we're good at that.
I'll put a pin in. I can't remember where I put the pin. I'll take a note.
Dark.
Mental note. It's locked in the steel trap right now. So we'll wrap up by doing our 90s rewind. How about that? And we'll go back to 1992, where a line like, "Oh my God, Becky, did you see her butt?" was the opening line to the great admission of how Sir Mix-a-Lot felt about, well, big butts. "Baby Got Back" was bumping.
Wait, I got a question.
What's
Is
your
that
question?
so? Is that the song that Nicki Minaj sampled with her Anaconda?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh my God. So you see, thank you for that question, or that for making that connection, because there are a couple of songs actually in this handful of tunes that we were hearing, at least in 1992, that had flares of many years earlier. KWS had covered Casey and the Sunshine Band and their ballad and turned it into a dance favorite, "Please Don't Go." Like, it really, it was a totally different song, obviously, because somebody else was doing it, but they made it a bump and dance tune. So super cool. And also Arrested Development had reworked the message of Sly and the Family Stone's "Everyday People" by doing their take on "People Every Day." So connecting back to the 60s on that one. Another song that we're hearing covered today by the group Ghost first came to us in 1992 from their "We Can't Dance" album. Genesis and "Jesus, He Knows Me" was pretty big at this time back in 92. That makes a handful, but I had a little extra because while we hear his daughter Miley a lot today, we got the breakthrough hit for her dad, Billy Ray Cyrus, and a favorite to line dancers everywhere with "Achy Breaky Heart" and "Mullets on Fire." That's it. That should have been the name of that album.
Exactly.
Mullets on Fire. And that's your 90s rewind.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, guys. All right. Well, I think
was a fun show.
I think we got it. We got it all in.
We did. Yep.
And we'll deal with Family Matters next time. Next show. Thank you, everybody, for finding us wherever it is that you do and being a part of our conversation. We appreciate that, for following us along on social media and making connections there. We love that you do that too, so thank you very much. Happy birthday again, Shane. And to everybody else, thanks for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.